having a husband and wife woodworking duo take on one of the largest craft shows in the U.S. I'm here at the Big E in Springfield, Massachusetts, to visit my community members, B and Paul from B's Boards. And we're gonna find out if the hype of this event matches the hard work that they put in. Will they boom or bust? Let's go find out. Here in the heart of Massachusetts, the Big E isn't just a fair. It's a 17-day event that will see more than 1 million people attend. This event is none like I've ever seen. It's highly curated and difficult to get in, to set up and sell. In fact, you have to be invited to apply, then interviewed, and then accepted. It's a melting pot of talent and tradition that gathers the best of 6 New England states has to offer. Meet Paul and B from B's Boards from Massachusetts, a husband and wife duo, woodworking duo, here at the Big E, which is the 3rd largest craft fair. Agricultural fair. So tell us a little about yourself. Where are we at? How did you get here? What are we doing?
So we started woodworking about 3 years ago. We were making cutting boards, charcuterie boards, the usual woodworking things. And we started making a lot of cribbage boards, which our audience bought from us. They started giving us feedback. So we started making a lot of cribbage boards. Somebody from the Massachusetts building, where we're currently at, asked us if we made a lot of our boards. We said, sure, absolutely. And they invited us to apply to be a vendor. And we did 4 days on the porch last year. And this year we're here doing a full 7 days.
Here on the porch. Again.
Yes.
A porch, yeah.
All right, so what is your main product? What are you known for?
So we're originally known for cribbage boards. We started with the hardwood boards, and one of our main selling points on the hardwood are magnets. I hate the metal slatey thing with the absolute passion because it always bends. So we started getting discs lasered, and we carve them in, and when we first started doing cribbage boards, we were hand drilling them, and we couldn't keep up with the demand. We'd get one halfway done, and all of a sudden, it would be another order coming in. So we actually got a CNC, and this is our design that we set up, and we do the CNC pocket on the back as well.
I think I remember talking to Paul about, that was like a customer recommendation, right?
Yes.
Like as far as, where do I store the pegs?
Yes.
We were at our first craft fair selling cribbage boards, and everybody was turning them over. And we said, so
What are you looking for?
What are you looking for? And they said, somewhere to put the pegs. And we went, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So we added it to the design and turned it into something that became a feature for us. And a lot of cribbage boards have, as B just said, a little piece of metal that slides in to cover the slot. And we wanted to do something unique. So, so
I like
we do
that.
metal discs.
We also got the recommendation to space our pegs out, the peg holes out a little bit more, because people's like, look, I've got fat hands, and it's really hard when they're super close together. So we took that feedback on board and started spacing the pegs out. The important part was to take that customer feedback and listen to them and make the changes.
Yeah, that's great. So cribbage boards here. What do we got up here? It looks like we've got some CNC, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We've got some laser work as well.
Oh, yeah. So this was our very first travel board. We did a travel cribbage board, and we designed this up ourselves. Once again, we did all magnets. We love our magnets. And we wanted something very compact that could hold everything.
Then we took that same idea and we've made chess. So same concept. It's 2 boards, magnetic. Backgammon, Mancala. So classic games made in a way that can be traveled with, transported easily.
Then we started doing like the acrylic pieces.
Yeah, I was going to ask about these. How are you making these?
We're laser
cut acrylic.
Nice. I know you could 3D print these as well, but this is probably cleaner.
You wouldn't get a 3D printed version would have layer lines and would have weak points when they could be bent and snapped, whereas acrylic's much stronger. And then same behind you.
So we still carry on with all of our CNC work. This was done with CNC and resin. This is more of our CNC style work here and resin. So I grew up playing Marble Solitaire. So this was one of my favorites.
Yep.
So we do these. And then we started doing the round cribbage boards because a lot of people really wanted that unique style. And then down in the basement is where all the chaos is.
Yeah. I think another thing that'd be really interesting is to talk about like what you've learned from, this is your second year, and what you learned from last year that you changed for this year.
So the first thing we learned was stock levels.
We way over prepared last year.
Oh, okay.
We had way too much stock, which meant we had too much to store, too much money tied up in stock over the year, because this is a very high volume event, and we didn't have any idea what to expect last year. So we just prepared for months.
Yep.
Coming in, we thought we were going to be struggling, and turns out we had way too much. That did help us this year because we could bring some of that, or most of that, and it's become stock for this year, which let us build other products and other types of products that we could focus on.
We also learned about how to start predicting stock levels. You know, starting to look at that sales approach of how do you predict sales?
Yeah. How much did we sell last year? What were our averages? What's the right price point to be in? So we could
Exactly.
make more products and more range of products at those sweet spot price points. And then logistical stuff, like we figured out what we did and didn't need to bring, how to break, because we're on the porch, we have to collapse this tent down, well, not the tent, but the product every night.
Every night.
So figuring out better ways to move stuff around. So little things like that, you just learn as you do things.
Yeah.
But I mean, almost every night we're going home and saying, so what can we change tomorrow?
Yes.
We've moved product around in our booth every day since we've been here.
We discovered the halo spot.
Yeah.
A halo spot is where that eye level immediately is drawn to. And we've been rotating our products through that halo spot. And the halo spot actually is the outside of our booth right here.
So every day we've got a new product in there, and most of the days we've done that, that product has turned out to be the biggest seller of the day.
Can you talk a little bit about pricing? Did you learn anything last year that you implemented this year?
Yes, we did.
Yep, absolutely. So
Things were priced too high last year.
yeah,
Simply put.
so yeah, pricing was a big thing we learned last year. We came in with our boards priced higher than we would at a normal retail fair, because there's this idea that being a big fair like this, the Big E Fair, that you can ask a bit more money.
Yeah.
And so we found very quickly that put our products in a price point we didn't like. And so we've changed that entirely. So the price we charge this week is the exact same price we charge at any other event. And it's made a big difference. You sell more overall. So last year, it felt like we were asking too much. I mean, we probably weren't, to be honest, but it felt like it. We didn't like it, so we changed and went the other way. And
you had room in your markup.
we had room in our markup, yeah.
Yeah.
A lesson from last year was understanding our costs in product. So when we looked at our pricing last year and we looked at our profits last year, we didn't have a really solid handle on what everything actually cost.
I've seen your spreadsheet. It's very well done. Just your costs, your fixed costs.
Everything's broken down. I mean, on our spreadsheets, we can tell you how much each one of these cost.
How much is this event a day? How much is it for you?
So for us, for a week, it's about $1,400.
So you're 7 days, so $200 a day.
Yeah. End of the day, we know what we paid to be here. We know what we paid to stay down in this area, and that's what we consider costs. And so we're factoring that in. And because we know how much it costs to make that cribbage board, then we now know how much profit we make when we sell that cribbage board, and we can track it, and we know when we break even, which we have done happily. And we've still got a few days to go. So
Yeah, so give us a little update. So they're here for 7 days. This is day 4?
this is day 4.
This is day
Yeah.
4. What day did you break even on?
Tuesday afternoon.
Yep.
So
Mid-afternoon Tuesday.
a day and a half.
Yeah, day and a half. We broke.
You broke even.
Yeah.
Time-wise, if you had to estimate how much time it would take, starting from zero,
Yeah. Months.
So would you say 3 months? Would you say...
Yeah, for us, building up was months long. Now, laser products come together much, much quicker, can be batched easier than, say, a CNC product, because the CNC product needs glue-ups, needs, sanding, a lot more manual intervention.
If you could put a dollar amount on inventory.
In our basement, before we arrived here, we had close to $30,000 in product in the basement.
It feels funny because we've talked about it together, and we've talked about it online, we've talked about it in the inner circle, and it's a big event. But when you saw the video that somebody showed us earlier of the crowds of people trying to get in here.
The only thing the only time I've seen that many people is like at a sporting event.
Yeah.
When at a ticket booth, when people are trying to,
Yes.
or a concert, when people are trying to first get in. And so when you have that volume of people, I can guarantee you that there's 100 passionate cribbage players in that mass of people.
But you don't get to this, but you have to do that legwork first, right? The find your local craft fair, make something that appeals to the people you want to target and to market to and to sell to. But then you can get to something like this, and those people will come to you.
I do want to mention, I did an interview with Paul on how they got to this event and their story. I will link it in the video description for you to check out. A few more people today.
It's a little busier today.
And a bit more. Traffic getting in here was...
But yeah, so it's been busy.
Nice.
So it's move things around again.
Yeah.
See what moves. Trying to put some of these out for...
Did you break your goal yesterday?
No, but it was wet and cold, so it was fine. That was okay.
You were so close, though.
We were like 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, yesterday was the day it was going to suck, and we knew it. It was nice to have a bit of a reprieve. I mean, you can see how busy it is now.
It's,
and
it'll be like this nonstop today?
Yeah, till 9 o'clock. Yeah. And they have music playing tonight, so the music will be going till 10, so there'll be people here for that.
Yeah.
It'll be like this till 9 tonight.
Everyone's home and had time to reflect after a full week at the Big E. Was it worth the effort and investment? B and Paul's insights might just surprise you. So let's find out if they boomed or they busted. Yeah, so how are you feeling after the event? Are you recouped? Are you ready to go at it again?
Yeah, let's do it again tomorrow.
Do it again.
Do it next weekend. How are you feeling?
I'm actually a lot better than what I was the previous year. I felt much better about this year, much better about how we did, how everything went,
how we prepped
this year, because I know that was a little bit contentious at times.
Yeah, I mean,
because he wants to make all the things. I want to make all the things, but I need it to fit in like 5 totes. So.
So it's like you can make whatever you want, but it has to fit in 5 totes.
Something like that. We got a good compromise. We managed to get it all in 12. I was very happy.
Yep.
12 totes.
12 27-gallon totes in the end. Last year, going into something this big with no real experience of something so vast, we way over prepared. I mean, for numbers, last year we took 580 items for 4 days. This year we took 570 items for 7 days.
And how did that play out?
Yeah, we sold about half, just over half. I think we made it like 58% of what we took, we sold.
Compared to last year, what was that?
Last year was like 20%.
Last year we sold 23%.
23%.
So you basically doubled that number.
One thing we did this year is we took a lot more variety of product. So last year it was all cribbage boards. This year it was a mixture of different games, chess and backgammon. So we were able to take our existing overstock of cribbage and not have to make too many more of those. And then we focused for the last few months on making the other products, the other games. The other big thing I think we talked about on the last time we met was before the event, a friend of ours gave us some really good advice of having small point of sale upsells, things that you can have out that somebody buying a product can go, ooh, I need one of them. So in the world of cribbage, that was decks of cards and cribbage pegs. And we took a few, not really expecting much from them. We put them on the counter to check out, but didn't think a lot of them. But cribbage pegs turned out to be ridiculously popular.
Really?
We actually took all the cribbage pegs we took, we sold by Wednesday. And we were very fortunate that our neighbors were visiting, and my mother was staying at the house. She made us more bags of cribbage pegs, gave them to the neighbors who brought them out. And literally, we sold our last bag of cribbage pegs on Wednesday morning. Our neighbors showed up at Wednesday lunchtime with like 50 bags more. So we got a restock within an hour of selling them out. And that turned out to be a ridiculously good upsell.
Yeah, explain that a little bit. What did that look like? Price-wise, quantity-wise?
We sold 25 to 29, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, so what's that?
20s.
5 or 6 a day.
So you're at $10 a piece. So that was roughly a $300
Yeah.
But it was just such an easy little thing to have that for the customer, it's great value. I mean, $10 isn't a lot of money. And now they've got a second set of pegs for when they lose them, or to restore an old board, or to replace some pegs that snapped, or whatever they've done in the past. And for us, it was a relatively inexpensive upsell. It cost us nothing to assemble, a little plastic bag and some pegs.
Let's change gears a little bit. The result that you personally got out of it, whether it's financially or another way, was it worth it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worth it. What now? Was it like, it was kind of worth it?
If you'd have asked us last year, the answer would have been hell no. Because last year was an awful lot of
Yeah.
work.
It was.
And we came away from last year looking at it going, that wasn't as much return financially or anything else as we expected. But we also looked at last year and saw all the places we screwed up. And we knew that if we did it again and we did it differently and we changed how we approached it, that we would get better results. And that's what this year showed. We joked around about not really having a target, and then Beard piped up quite vocally, well, I have a $2,000 a day target.
Yeah.
And happy to say we beat it. So we averaged.
We did beat it.
2,200 gross a day, something like that. 2,300 a day gross.
That's great. Well, I mean, you guys should be proud of that.
And that's what made it worth it, right? We not only did we actually make money, properly actually make money, but we also predicted what we'd make, and we gauged things in a lot more of a sane, sensible manner.
What was your total take for the 7 days that you were there?
So our total gross was 14.2 was our total gross.
14.2. That's fantastic. And what's the number of items that you sold?
289.
289.
289. What was your top selling item?
Our top selling item were the cribbage boards.
Yeah.
They've travel ones, the plywood travel ones were quite up there, but so were the leatherette ones.
Yeah.
So those were the top two products by far. We sold the most of those.
So considering all of this, reflecting on the last 2 years, what are your plans going forward?
We want to at least get in for the 10 days on the porch.
That's the maximum they'll let us be on the porch, is a 10-day window. So we're going to put in next year for going back. So the thing is, we can say our intentions, but it's an application. It's juried. They may make decisions how they want their environment to be and who they want to vend. So we can state our intentions, but and we've spoken to the building organizers. They know our intentions next year.
Well, I think, so you did 4 days last year. You did 7 days this year. I think you can project on being there longer, based on your percentage of increase, you can get a good idea of what that's going to be. The good thing about the Big E is it's consistent. Like, traffic is consistent. It's weather dependent still, but from year to year, it's not wildly different in attendance.
We actually worked out the numbers using last year. That's how we kind of gauged our projections of what we would need for this year.
We'd do the same next year.
And we would do the exact same next year, is take the same numbers that we have and go, okay, this is what we did on average. This is what we would need for this many days. So we actually started that process last year. Next year is going to be a lot easier because we already have a bunch of it already set.
I think one of the things that you all should be the most proud of is not just your $2,200 daily average sales average, which is fantastic, but I think the adjustments that you made from year one to year two. Hypothetically, other than the length of time that you spend there, are there any changes that you're already thinking about making for year three to get even better?
Absolutely. Of course, we want to keep things fresh, so we have some new ideas that we want to prototype. New product, but also, as you've always said, iterations. There's some current product that we would like to do some new iterations on.
Yeah,
to see if we can kind of, either reduce the cost of it or just make it a little bit different or better or change it in some way.
We saw some gaps in like cribbage boards where we're like, okay, if we made that kind of board but at a lower price point, so instead of it being a $200 luxury item, it's more of a $75 giftable item. Like, so we're playing around with some of that already.
Let's say a beginner that's looking to get into to start doing craft fairs. What's your number one advice to them?
Our biggest one has always been trying to find one event that scares the bejesus out of you.
Yeah.
Because that's what pushes you to move up and level up a little. And that's what the Big E was for us.
I mean, every event you do, I mean, no matter how successful we feel this one went, we're still looking at it and seeing where we made mistakes and where we can improve next time. And it's a different set of mistakes to last year because we learned from them already. And, you know, even a local craft fair, you go, you set up, you realize your setup sucks, so you move it in the middle of the day, you know, whatever it is.
You know what the interesting thing is, and I see this all the time, and none of this is like absolute rocket science. But what it takes, and it's often overlooked, is it takes doing it. Like you have to be willing to do it. You can't think your way from the comfort of your shop or your living room, or you can't think your way to success with zero experience. Well, great. Well, it was great to come out and
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
It's really nice to host you.
It's great to host.
But there'll be a link down in the description for everyone to check out. Check out beesboardsma.com and support them. They do fantastic work. You've seen it here demonstrating, and you can order on their website. Bombard them with custom orders. They've been great members of our community, the Inner Circle community. If you want to check out the Inner Circle community, there'll be a link down in the description, and you can talk to B and Paul and ask them more about their experiences. Or it's just a great group where there's a lot of cheerleaders in there. There's almost 800 people in there now. So join the best, I'm going to say it, the best CNC community on the internet.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you in there.